mom and dad, if you're choosing to go along with this. We are gonna do hopefully about 20 minutes of yoga and looking to help strengthen your back and help you to increase your lateral side to side motion and also your twists. So we'll start in a seated position, cross-legged. Place whatever foot is comfortable in front of the other, doesn't matter. And then look at your pelvis, and the goal is not to slump back like this, but instead to draw it up to a nice perpendicular degree to the ground. And that might involve sitting on the edge of a folded blanket right under your bum, or you might be able to just sit on the ground. So once you're there, take your right hand and reach it over to your left knee. Take that left hand and reach behind you. It's like a tripod leg. And you're just gonna twist. So currently peeking out over your left shoulder. You're thinking about growing nice and long and tall through the torso. And you're using the strength of your core to twist you. So there's some leverage through the arms, but also using the strength of your back and your abdomen. Take one more nice deep inhale. Exhale out the breath. And then turn back to the front. Do the same thing on the other side. So left hand reaches for right knee, and you're going to peek out over that right shoulder. Using that tripod arm behind you just to keep nice and straight and tall. Take a nice inhale in. Exhale out. And come to the front. Nice. And then take your hands and just walk them forward. We're thinking not about arching the back, but stretching the middle point of the chest forward. So you might not go very far. Just walk the hands until you feel a stretch. It'll probably be in your lower back, maybe in the backs of your thighs. And again, we're thinking about being nice and tall and broad through the chest. So reaching that midpoint of the chest forward, drawing the shoulders slightly back. Nice. Inhale and walk your hands back. So inhale and reach the arms up over the head. And exhale, send them down. Do that again. Inhale the arms up. And exhale down. And then with the right hand, reach out to the side, way off the side of your mat, place it down on the floor. Reach that left arm up and over the head, drawing that left shoulder back, keeping a nice broad chest. Probably feel that stretch through the side of your torso. And then draw yourself back up. Same thing on the other side. Take that left hand, reach it out to the side, place it on the ground. Right arm reaches up and over the head, drawing that right shoulder back, feeling the stretch through the right side of the body. Nice. Inhale, draw yourself back up. And then interlace the fingers behind the back. So I'm turning sideways to show you. And then think about drawing those palms together, those shoulders stretch back, and just lift through that center point of your chest once again. So it's a mini back bend. Also good for strengthening the back. And then release. Nice. So from that cross-legged position, walk your hands forward. We're going to come into a kneeling position. You probably have to walk back to get onto the mat. And then from there, we'll move through a few cat-cow positions. So on the inhale, arch your back up, drawing your navel toward your spine, allowing the head to drop. Nice and heavy, relax the neck. And then exhale. Send that midpoint of your chest forward, reach it as far as you can, send the tailbone up toward the sky. We'll do that again. Inhale, arch up. Nice deep breath. And exhale, come into cow. So think of cow as your back bend, and then think of cat as you're arching the back, and just move at a pace that works for you, taking nice deep breaths. On the inhale, you arch up into cat. On the exhale, roll the shoulders back, coming into cow. Nice. And do that one more time. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, come into cat. And then allow your spine to come to a neutral position. So from here, draw the knees in a little bit closer toward each other, maybe the legs are touching, and then extend your right leg out behind you. Flex that foot, press through the heel. It's almost like you're pushing that back foot into a wall. That'll help with your balance. And then bending through the knee, draw your knee in towards your navel. You're going to do that cat motion, arching the back up, drawing that knee forward as much as possible. And then exhale, press that leg back and lengthen. We're in our cow. And then once more, inhale, draw the knee in, and exhale, press the leg back. So you move at your own pace here. We're going through a cat-cow motion. We're balancing just on one leg. Nice. The next time that leg is extended back, keep it there. Bend through the knee, send your foot up toward the ceiling, and then think about reaching your head back toward the foot. And it'll be very little back bend. That's okay. And then lower that knee down onto the mat. And give your hips a little wiggle from side to side. Maybe come into child's pose. You're sending your hips back over your heels, extending the arms forward. Maybe your head even rests down onto the mat. And the next inhale, lift yourself back up. We're coming into that kneeling position once again. This time we're sending our left leg back, flex through the foot, press that heel into the wall, the imaginary wall behind you. It's helping with your balance. And then bending through the knee, come into cat. So you're drawing that knee in toward your navel, arching through the back, dropping your head, and then exhale, press the leg back. Nice. So on the inhale, draw the knee in. On the exhale, press the leg back. And just continue at your own pace. The next time you extend that leg back, bend through the knee, send the foot up toward the sky, and then reach back with your head. It'll be really subtle. You'll likely feel those muscles in your lower back engaging. And then lower that knee down to the mat. We're in a kneeling position once again. Swing the hips from side to side. And then lower yourself down into child's pose. Your hips are over your heels. Your arms are extended forward. And then for a moment, allow the arms to relax. And come back up to that kneeling table position, hands and knees on the floor. Take your right arm out to the side and just keep reaching up and up and up. Just go to a range that feels comfortable. You still have your balance. So we're twisting through the torso here. And then as you exhale, send that arm down. It's like you're threading a needle. You're sending that arm underneath the opposite arm, eventually lowering your shoulder down onto the mat. Maybe even lowering your right ear down onto the floor. This twisting action. And then lift yourself back up. Come into table position, hands and knees on the mat. Extend the left arm up toward the sky. Twisting, I find it harder on the side. And then exhale, thread the needle, send that arm underneath the other arm. You lower your left shoulder down, maybe even your left ear. And then on the next inhale, lift yourself back up to table. Nice. Now just scoot your knees back a little bit so that they're no longer underneath your hips. And then we're going to bend through our elbows, lower ourselves down. Imagine there's a golf ball underneath your chin. Roll that ball forward. You're slithering forward. And then come onto your belly. It's probably a lot of arm work. And then from here, we're gonna come into Cobra. So think about lengthening through the crown of your head, and then peel your head, maybe your shoulders up off the mat. So we're drawing our shoulders back, feeling those shoulder blades almost pinching toward each other, strengthening the back here. Remember to breathe. And then lower yourself down. Pressing into the palms, you're gonna bend through your knees, come up past through table, and then come into child's pose. Your hips are over your heels. You feel that cat bending through the back. And then lift back up toward table. Again, we have our knees back a little bit further than they would be in table, so they're behind the hips. And again, we're gonna bend through the elbows, lower down to that golf ball under the chin, roll that ball forward. Eventually you come to rest on your belly. Hands are right next to the shoulders. Coming into Cobra, lengthen through the crown of the head. Peel your head and shoulders up off the mat. Maybe stay here, maybe press into the palms, see if you can go up a little bit higher. It's okay if you don't go very far. So here's a good back bend. And then lower yourself back down. Press through your palms. Lift your hips up and back, send them all the way to your heels. We're coming into child's pose. And when you get there, think about relaxing the arms. Just let them be weightless, flopping down on the floor. Nice. And then come back up to that table position. This time we're gonna lift our hands up off of the floor and come to a high kneeling position. Put your hands on your hips. And then from here, think about growing nice and tall through the spine, lifting through the crown of the head, and keep that neck in a neutral position so you're not craning the head up, you're looking forward. Then just lean back slightly. You're pressing your hips forward and draw those shoulders together, elbows together. And if you need to come up for a rest, you can do that. And just do repetitions. They can be nice and slow or more frequent. A little bit of a back bending motion. This is also strengthening your abdominal muscles and your back. Also doing chest openers here, opening through the chest, drawing those shoulders back, elbows together. And lift yourself back up. Nicely done. Place the hands down into the table position once again, and then get onto your feet. We're going to come to a standing position. Nice. So from here, look to see that your feet are about hips distance apart. You can do that by just giving a little hop and they'll land in the right place. And then take your right arm and reach up and over your head. The left hand is on your hip. And again, we're looking for a little bit of a bend through the torso here, and then a stretch through that outer side. Then lift yourself back up. Same thing on the other side. So we'll take the left arm out to the side, reach up and over the head. Right hand is on the hip. Feeling a stretch through the left side. And lift yourself back up. Nice. I'm going to turn. You can stay facing toward me. You're looking to interlace the fingers behind the back. Once again, draw the palms together, straighten through the arms. Lift through the chest. Slight back bend here. You can still be looking forward. We're drawing those shoulders back and together. And then from here, still facing me, you're going to go into a forward bend. So slight bend in your knees, and just pivot forward at the waist. Send those interlaced hands up toward the sky. You'll likely feel a stretch through somewhere in the back body. Could be legs, could be back. And then releasing those interlaced hands, allow them to come down toward the floor. I'm going to turn back towards you. And just allow the arms and the head to hang. You can shake your head no, like you're saying no. It's just reminding the neck to let go. Nod your head yes. And then just relax the neck. Really nice. From here, step back with your right leg. You're gonna come into a lunge. So we're coming onto the ball of that back foot. And we're looking to have a 90-degree angle in this front left leg. The hands frame that front leg. Probably feel a little bit of a stretch through that hip of the extended back leg. And then we're going to come into a twist. So take your right hand, place it down on the mat, and then turn toward the left. Reach that left arm up toward the sky. Again, we're twisting through the torso. And then as you exhale, sweep that arm down underneath your bent leg. And as you inhale, sweep it back up. So if you like that movement, you can continue following your breath. As you exhale, sweep it down. And as you inhale, sweep it back up. And the next time your arm comes down, allow it to stay there. And then step that front leg to meet the back. You're gonna come into plank. Now you did this really well with me when we were testing it out, but you can always just gently place your knees down on the mat. If you do that, we're not in table because the knees are further back than the hips. In either case, you're really engaging through the abdominal muscles, through your whole core, really. Nice. And then eventually, do lower those knees down onto the mat. Bend through the elbows. Allow yourself to come all the way down to the ground. We'll come into Cobra again. So lengthen through the spine, lift the chin, the shoulders back. This low Cobra is really good for strengthening the back. You might even get to a point where you can lift your hands off of the floor, or you might want to press into your hands and press up to see if you can get a little bit more of a back bend through your spine. And then lower yourself down. So from here, we're going to do those side planks that you and I practiced. So you're going to roll over onto your right side. You'll be bending through your right arm. And then you can place your left foot in front of the right. So we're coming into a side plank motion. And two options here. You can lift your hip up and extend that top arm. So this is for building a lot of strength through your side body. Or you can keep both hands down on the ground, and to get that mobility through the side, remember how we just lifted up and down, and up and down. So here you're really strengthening your arms, and you are also building that flexibility through your sides that you're working on. And eventually roll back onto your belly, and then press into your palms. You're passing through table, and you're going to come into downward facing dog. So you're going to lift your hips up and back. You're going to approach placing your feet flat on the ground. They probably won't be flat. The heels will be elevated slightly. That's fine. And then from here, extend that right leg behind you. So we're in what we call three-legged downward facing dog. And then draw that right knee in toward your navel. Step forward between the hands. You might have to help the leg forward. You're coming into lunge. Hold that lunge for a second. Think about reaching your chest forward, and then step your left leg forward to meet the right. So we're coming into a standing forward bend. You're going to hang there for a moment. And then on the next inhale, sweep your arms out to the sides. This is called the reverse swan dive. Come up, reach the arms up over the head, and then exhale, sweep the arms down. Nice, we'll do the same thing on the other side. So reach out to the sides, inhale the arms up over the head. And then exhale, sweep the arms down. You're gonna lower yourself down slowly. Take a moment to hang here. This time we'll step back with the left leg coming into lunge. So step all the way back. We're looking to see that this knee is over the ankle in the front. It's not pitched forward. That protects the knee. Nice, hold that lunge for a second. This is good weight bearing for your bones. And then place your left hand down on the mat. Take the right arm, sweep it up to the side, coming into a twist. And if your balance is feeling a little precarious here, remember your feet should be on railroad tracks. There should be some space between them. Don't stand on a single track. There should be 2 tracks. And then on the exhale, sweep that arm down underneath your front bent leg and then sweep it back up again. So you can continue with that sweeping motion, or you could just stay up. In either case, you're looking to find some twist through your torso. And exhale, sweep that arm down. You're going to step the front leg to meet the back, coming into plank. Again, the option to be all the way up here, in which case we're trying to get the hips in line with the shoulders and the heels. They're not too far up, they're not swaying down. Or you can place your knees down on the mat. It's not exactly table, those knees are further back than they were in table. Trying to create that straight line through the thighs and the torso, engaging through the middle. And then eventually, lower those knees down if they weren't already there. Bend through the elbows, find that golf ball underneath the chin, roll it forward, come all the way to rest on your belly. Coming into Cobra, lengthen through the spine, peel head, shoulders up off the mat. Low Cobra to strengthen the back, or if you're looking for more flexibility, press into the palms, see if you can lift yourself up slightly. Reach up through that center point of the chest, and then lower yourself down. Coming into side plank now. So take your left arm, bend at the elbow, turn over onto your side. And then from there, we have options. You can, well, first of all, place the top foot forward, bottom foot behind it. And then first option, lift the hips and just hold it here. This is very hard for most middle-aged people, so it might not be right for you. Or you can place both hands down on the mat and just work on pressing up and down. So in this case, you're getting that stretch through the side of your torso that the physical therapist told you to work on. And you're also definitely strengthening the arms. Do one more of those. And then come back down onto your belly. Passing through table, press into your palms, bend through the knees. And then we're coming into downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Feet come to almost flat on the mat. Maybe not quite, that's fine. And then reach up with that left leg behind you. And then bending through that knee. Draw the knee in toward your navel. Maybe help that leg forward, but you're coming into a lunge. Nice, hold it there for a minute. Take the midpoint of your chest, stretch it forward. And then we're coming into a standing position, so draw that back leg to meet the front. Allow yourself to hang in a forward bend. And then this time we're going to come to a seated position. So get yourself there in whatever way works best. Nice. So this is called staff pose in yoga. We'll flex the feet. Think about sitting nice and tall. You may find that it's helpful to sit on the edge of a folded blanket or a pillow to get your torso up, your pelvis up to a nice position. And then walk your hands forward. Think about stretching the midpoint of that chest forward, so we're not looking to roll the shoulders forward. Instead, the furthest point forward is going to be the chest. Nice. Likely feel a stretch through the lower back or the backs of the legs here. I think for you it's in the backs of your knees. And then on the inhale, lift yourself back up. Then through that right knee, place that leg down on the ground. The bottom of the right foot is next to your opposite leg. And then take your right hand, reach across the extended leg. Take that back hand behind you, that's the tripod leg. Come into a bit of a twist here. Peek out over your left shoulder. And then come back to a neutral position. Place the bottom of that right foot flat on the mat. And then grab that shin. Think about sitting up nice and tall. Take your left hand, hug that leg. And again, twist. Peek out over your right shoulder. Use that right hand as a tripod leg. And then come back to a neutral position. Nice, extend the legs out, give them a little shake out. Do the same thing on the other side. So bend through the left leg, place the bottom of that left foot on your inner thigh, and then take your left hand, reach it across your extended right leg, and then come into a twist. Keeping out over the right shoulder once again. Come back to a neutral position. Place the bottom of that foot down on the mat. Hug that shin. Get yourself nice and tall. And then take your right arm, reach around, hug that leg, and come into a twist. So peeking out over the left shoulder, using the left hand as your tripod leg for balance. And then come back to a neutral position. Nice. This time we'll bend through both legs. Place the bottoms of the feet together. And if it's hard to get if the legs don't rest down, you can place pillows underneath each of them if that's helpful. Grab onto your ankles. Think about sitting nice and tall. And then once again, we're going to lead with the midpoint of the chest and just pitch forward until you feel a stretch. It might not be very far, that's just fine. Allow yourself to take some nice deep breaths here. This is called bound ankle pose. And we're almost done. Sit yourself back up and then lower yourself down onto your back. When you get there, keep the knees bent, the feet flat on the floor. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. This is called a figure 4 position. So you have your ankle on your thigh. And then this is the one that Dad's physical therapist recommended. You're going to grab on with your left hand to that leg and just pull that right knee toward your left shoulder. So I'll turn here so you can see what I'm doing. So just pulling it across the body. And then we'll do the other side. So this time your, I have to think about the side. The left foot comes across the right thigh. And then with that right hand, reach up and across, draw that left knee toward your right shoulder. So drawing that knee across the body in the figure 4 position. Nice. And then this time, draw your knees in toward your chest. Hold onto your shins and just pull them in. And the last thing here, we're going to allow the knees to be bent in a 90-degree angle and just pull the legs up here. If you're feeling really ambitious, you can do some crunches. So you can place your hands interlaced behind your head, and you can just lift head and shoulders up. You don't have to go far. You're just thinking about engaging the energy right here down by your navel, drawing your navel down toward your spine. Or just keep the legs like this as they are, without the crunch, your choice. Maybe do one more of those. And then once again, I'm going to turn back onto my mat, draw your knees in toward your chest, give your shins a hug, maybe even rock slightly from side to side, just giving the back a little massage. And then when you're ready, extend one leg out onto the mat, and then the other. Allow your palms to turn up toward the sky. Just take a moment to relax here. So you're allowing your feet to flop out to the sides. Just letting the muscles in the legs let go. Allow the muscles in your belly to soften and relax. Allow your shoulders to be heavy, so they're just falling down toward the floor. Relax your neck. Let go of any remnant tension to the jaw. Soften through your cheeks and your face. Allow your eyes to rest back into the eye sockets. And then smooth out any remaining wrinkles in the forehead. Allow your whole body to be calm. Just resting into your breath. Side or the other, doesn't matter. Let that bottom arm act as a bit of a pillow underneath your head. And then pressing into your hands, lift your body up.